That is a very good question, and it is one of the toughest things that food addicts have to conquer. I was just where you are. It just kind of overwhelming. Like, how am I supposed to get rid of processed sugar when it's in everything I eat? They put it in bread, they put it in meat, they put it in everything. How is that even possible? And it seemed to overwhelm me. Now, I had to be around this stuff all the time, and I had to offer to me all the time, and I had to say no. You made a comment earlier, am I supposed to never have a birthday cake again? I haven't, not in 6 years. Now, when I go to birthdays, doesn't mean it's terrible. It was at first, because I really didn't know what to do. I was the only one not eating for large periods of time, and it was awkward. I started taking things with me. I started substituting with like sugar-free piece of cake that I could have and still feel like I was part of it. And I built up a tolerance to be around it and just say no. I am not going to cross that line no matter what. Now, the good news is, if you get completely clean off of processed sugar for 2 to 3 weeks, you are not going to crave it like you do now. That actually is where my food tranquility came from. That binge monster that always needed more and more and could never be fed, silenced. It actually went away, and I was wondering if that is something that could ever even happen. I didn't know. Once I cut out processed sugar, I realized that it could, and I realized there was no other way for me. And a lot of people are just like me. They are ice skating uphill because they're trying to keep their addicted substance in their life because they don't want to let it go, and people tell them not to. You need to let it go. If you're addicted to it, if it's ruining your life, if it's derailing your life, you need to let it go. You need to get on stable, tranquil ground, and you need to stay there long enough to when that gets disturbed, you're going to know the difference. Then you can try to reintroduce things. Then you can try substitutions. But until then, the most important thing you can do is get clean. Just like any addict, get off of it until you're no longer dependent on it and you're thinking clearly. And from there, you go forward and you learn. You constantly learn. You let go of the shame. You don't beat yourself up. Commit to taking steps. You know it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Just as long as you keep going, you will get there. Food addiction is a very difficult thing, but you can do it. It can be done. I'm living proof of that. Thanks for the question.